Peace to the tribe. So in this video, I want to talk about the chronological order of the reclassification of the Black American. So I see a lot of memes and it shows the reclassification of the Black American, but it doesn't put it into the years that these ethnonyms, these titles were applied to our ethnic group. So I'm going to start in 1790 on the very first United States federal census. In 1790, you had free white males, free white females, and all other free persons. In the all other free persons section, under the head of the household, it listed gender and color. If we were free and a part of these territories as Black people, we would have been marked as Black in the head of the household section. Now, in 1820, they added free colored males and females from 1820 through 1840. So we was colored on paper in the 1820s. Now let's go to 1850. In 1850, they added Black to the United States federal census, and they added mulatto slaves. Now Black was in the open. It wasn't just in the head of the household section, but we still were Black in 1790. In 1890, we were still Black in 1790. In 1890, they added the word quadroon. Quadroon was someone with 1/4 Black blood. That's what a definition of a quadroon was. Now, in the year 1930, 1930 is when they added Negro to the United States federal census. That's why a lot of our grandparents has the word Negro on it. We've been Negro on paper since the 1930s. That is the chronological order. But we're going to keep going. But I want y'all to pay attention to this red flag. That red flag in 1960 said people could choose their own race. People were able to self-identify as their own race in the year 1960. Black Americans were Black in America before you could self-identify as quote unquote race. So when I say I'm a Black American, this is a generational, this ethnonym goes back centuries. I don't choose to be called a Black American. This is what has been put on paper for my ethnic group for over 235 years in America. I feel like Black, yes, it's a misnomer, just like Indian, African American. All these words are misnomers, but the word Black, the Black American can trace our entire existence in this country as that word. Every real Black American in America, the 60 million plus Black Americans in America, we all can pull up our census record and see somewhere in the 1800s, in the late 1700s, our ancestors was reclassified to Black. Black does not take us outside to Africa. Black does not take us outside of America because the ethnogenesis of a Black American is America. Race is a social construct created by Europeans inside of America. That's what America had, the first national racial census in the world. Back then it was a race, but over time we became an ethnicity. We had an ethnogenesis. We share a lot of the same histories, cultures. Our ancestors were enslaved. Our ancestors built HBCUs. Our ancestors built the White House. Our ancestors grew cotton in the South. Our ancestors fought in every single war in America on this soil. That is a Black American. Black Americans are an American. We should not, African American, let me finish this chronological order. So we said Negro was added to the United States Census in 1930, and then you can self-identify your own race in 1960. Let's go to the year 2000. In the year 2000 is when they added the word African American. It got popularized in the 1980s, but it became official on our ethnicity in the year 2000. That label got put on us so foreigners could find loopholes and be able to identify as a Black American. Now, everything that our ancestors fought and paid for, somebody that has no lineage ties to our ethnic group, can technically, this is the loophole, they can be born on the continent of Africa and relocate to America. Now they self-identify as an African American. They can self-identify as an African American, and this was all by design. This is why, out of all those titles, African American is the worst one. It's too ambiguous, it's too vague, and it's not specific. There is Black Americans. I'm not a part of any diaspora war. I'm preserving my ethnic group. I'm preserving my history. I'm preserving my people. I'm preserving my lineage and everything attached to it. Because I realize that immigration has been weaponized towards Black Americans. In 200 years from now, these folks, they're going to try to rewrite us out of future textbook. They already erased us from history with paper genocide. No matter, as a Black American, we might not collectively all agree with the word Black, but that word is the oldest ethnonym that we collectively can trace our lineage to America on paper. That ethnonym is well documented throughout the course of America since the inception of this country. Since the first United States federal census record, Black was listed, and that was a particular group of people. It wasn't ambiguous back then. That was the indigenous people, and some of the people that was brought over here during those time frames were reclassified to Black. And together we had an ethnogenesis. Black Americans, we really are an amalgamation of people in a particular time period, in a particular landmass, with a shared history and culture. That is a Black American. Our cutoff date to our ethnic group is 1860, 1865. Prior to the United States Civil War, the Black American was here. Before the Declaration of Independence, the Black American was here. You cannot immigrate into our ethnic group. And this is not being hateful. This is me looking at the chronological order of my ancestors. I can look at the landscape. I can look at the year 1835. I can look at the year 1845, and I know who my ancestors were and what territory they resided in. Then I look at the landscape. What indigenous wars was going on in the 1830s and 50s? You know what I'm saying? So my ancestors got reclassified to Black. African American is too ambiguous, it's too vague. Black is very specific because everybody was not reclassified to Black, and globally they weren't. People, they learn how to be Black by the embodiment of Black, which is the Black American. We were Black since the first census ever was conducted on the planet. The Black American was listed as Black. That is our ethnonym. That is my culture. When people think of Black culture, they think of Black Americans. Having melanin does not make you Black. My shirt is Black. My skin is dark brown. My bloodline, my ethnicity got reclassified to Black. And reparations are owed. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Peace to the tribe. Peace to the tribe. So the New York Times just put out an article. It's time to let go of African American. Shout out to Author John Mcwhorter for getting this out there. I'm no fan of performative identity politics, and I think racial preferences are long past their expiration date. Yet I don't think the New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani did anything wrong when, as was reported last week, he checked off Black or African American on a college application. As a man of South Asian descent who spent the first part of his life living in Uganda, he was within his rights to call himself an African American. The problem is that the term appeared on the application or anywhere else. Plenty of Black people have never liked it, and evermore are joining the ranks. It's time to let it go. I've been saying this African American misnomer is the worst label they've ever applied on us, but I want people to really understand this term was put on us in the year 2000. Prior to the year 2000, we were Black and Black Americans. So yes, I agree. Shout out to the New York Times for getting people to get privy to this conversation. Delineation is here and it's gaining steam. Like, this conversation ain't going anywhere. Secure the tribe.